Okay, today we are going to do an experiment, something I've been thinking about for a long time, and today I'm finally going to do it. I'm making sourdough today, okay? Sourdough bread. I've got 2 loaves. One loaf is going to go inside this Dutch oven, and the other loaf is not, okay? So, let's get this thing going. I need to light the fire first. As you know, when you make the sourdough inside of a Dutch oven like this, the advantage is that when you put that lid on, the oven's hot already. This thing's already hot. When you put that lid on, you're going to trap all the steam that's going to come out of the bread, right? It's a small enclosed area, and that gives you that oven spring. That's what we're looking for. In the oven itself, since there's no way to introduce steam in there, I'm going to use this guy, a little spray bottle, an industrial strength spray bottle, that I'm going to just put cold water in, and I'm going to have a little stainless steel, not stainless, I'll have a cast iron skillet in there somewhere, and I'm going to spray that, and hopefully I'll generate enough steam. And I'm also probably going to use the insulated door. But before we do anything, we need a fire. So I'm not going to be baking any bread for another 2 hours, I suppose. All right, so let's see about this. Let's see about getting that fire started. Hopefully it starts pretty quickly. We'll see. So it looks like that took, so let's push all of that into the oven. All right, and now we wait. All right, so before we do anything though, I want to take you inside so you can see everything. See, there's some smoke looming, and it looks like the kindling has taken. So it looks like, every 15-20 minutes I'll just be out here to make sure it hasn't gone out and to feed it appropriately. But again, I don't need it to be 1,000 degrees in there. I only need that floor to get up to 500 for my first experiment. Groovy. Okay, so you see my flame is getting there, right? I'm not quite there yet, okay? I'm going to take my trusty little laser, put it in the middle, and I'm at 454, which means my floor is almost hot enough, which means I think that once those logs die down to embers, we're good. So I'm going to preheat my Dutch oven. Let it get good and hot so that by the time that dies down to embers, the oven's hot enough, the floor is hot enough, and I'm ready to bake my first loaf. I'm going to do my first loaf in the Dutch oven. I'll do my second loaf without the Dutch oven, and then we're going to compare the two and see if they're comparable and if the Dutch oven is actually superior. Also, if the Dutch oven is superior, we're going to start thinking about what else could we do to make the use of the oven without the Dutch oven for sourdough to be just as effective. Okay, so this is contestant number 1. So this sourdough, wow, it smells wonderful. I'm going to pop it onto this piece of parchment. Okay. And then I need my brush. Let me get my brush. Okay. Just going to brush off any excess flour, but I want to keep that design looking fresh. I think we're looking good though. Let's brush that flour out of there. Okay. All right. And now I'm going to take my lamb, and this is what I'm not really great at, but I'm going to just Give it a slice right across the top, just like that. Maybe I'll do a couple of little accents on the side there, but again, I'm not really great at that, so I don't care. And now let me go get my Dutch oven, which is going to go right here. Okay. Take that lid off. Let's pop it in, huh? Put that lid back on. And let's get it into the oven for 20 minutes. Okay, so there it is in the oven. Let me set a nice timer. And I'm gonna set a timer for 10 minutes because in 10 minutes I'm coming back to turn it. So I make sure that it gets even heat. Okay? Smells good. Oh, wow. Not only do I have oven spring, but I've got browning. Wow-wee. All right, so now we're gonna pop this guy back into the oven to finish baking. But look at how nice it looks already, right? Okay. Watch out, puppy. Okay. All right. Here is candidate number 2. This guy is going to go in without the Dutch oven. And we're going to see the comparison. Okay? Oh, wow, it smells so good. I think I'm going to put it on the parchment for now, but afterwards I'm going to remove it from the parchment after it hardens a bit. Okay, perfect. Oh, it looks so nice. Okay, we're just going to get some of that off. I might try to, no, I won't be able to because it's going to stick. That's fine. Okay, here we go. Right across the top. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, and let's pop that in, right? Let me see if I can move the other one out of the way a little bit first. Let's try to pop it in. Okay, let's see if I can get a little steam in there. Okay, let's see if that helps. All right, so you see how it's flat, right? I got to get you in there. You see how the other one has a lot of spring and this one kind of just spread out. So it looks like it's really, I'm going to get some more light in there so you can see. All right, so you see just by popping it in, you see how it's spread wider and it's not growing tall. That could be because of the shape of the Dutch oven, I don't know, but it is rising. So we're going to see what happens. You can see I just turned it. You see how the back was already getting burnt? So I think even with those embers, it's pretty hot in there. I'm going to have to keep moving these guys away from the heat so they don't burn. But I think we're going to be okay. I don't think the second one is going to grow as tall as the first, but they're both going to be delicious loaves. But it looks like, as of right now, advantage Dutch oven. Okay, so what do we have here? This is the one that was in the Dutch oven, and I left it out a little bit longer, and that's why you see it's dark, but it's not burnt. And I tested the internal temperature of this one. It reached 205. This one is the one that I did not use the Dutch oven, and it reached an internal temperature of 204. And you can see how this one is certainly taller, but I mean, they're both nice looking loaves, except that, you know, it looks a little bit burnt. You see these little spots. There's nothing I can do about that with that kind of oven. Maybe I can constantly rotate it, like constantly, I don't know. But we won't know if these are different at all until we cut them. If the crumb looks the same on the inside of both of these loaves, then I'm going to say, for height, maybe advantage Dutch oven, but otherwise it's not necessary. I mean, look at the bottom of that, right? The floor of the oven. This one, obviously I left it in longer, so it's cooked longer, it's a little darker. But overall, they both smell great. So we won't know anything till I cut them, but I have a pretty good suspicion that they're both going to be great loaves, and it's not going to matter if you use a Dutch oven or not. So this is the sourdough loaf that was in the Dutch oven, and you see how the crumb looks very nice. Okay, and we're going to cut the other one shortly, but this is the one that was in the Dutch oven. Okay, now this is the loaf that was not in the Dutch oven, and you see how the crumb is quite similar. So overall, I'm going to have to take a slice of each and taste them. Okay, so the bread on the left is the one that I baked without the Dutch oven, and the bread on the right is the one I baked in the Dutch oven. Now remember, they were both the same exact dough, okay? And they were exact same weight, 2 pounds, 1.5 ounces, okay? So that's the one on the right that I did inside the Dutch oven, and that's the one on the left that I did without the Dutch oven. And you see the crumb is about the same in both, and I tasted both. They taste the same, so I don't know if you need to use the Dutch oven unless you want to make sure that it's a little taller like that. And again, I don't know. I think it's good both ways.